So here's our pitch. Hallmark, if you're listening, here's our pitch for A Christmas in Love. I might actually write this movie just for the movies.
Hello and welcome to the Nerdiest podcast, where nerds talk about nerdy things. I'm one of your hosts, as always, Mr. Jackson Glass, and I want to hear what Mr. Nick Barrett has been watching. He's my other co-host. But before I do that, I want to say, hey, you should follow on Instagram at the Nerdiest Podcast, and on Twitter at Nerdiest Pod, and on YouTube at the Nerdiest Podcast. If you're not watching on YouTube, you're seriously missing out. There's some amazing content we're putting out there. Thank you for listening. Give 5 stars. Anyway, housekeeping out of the way. I'm here with Nick Barrett. So glad to be here. And I just want to hear how he's doing. I want to know what he's been watching. This is our Christmas party? What? Merry Christmas, everyone. And I'm also going to preface by saying this is the second time we've had to record this episode. And that's okay. Happens to the best of us. Truly, truly. But we shifted some things around. We did the entire Christmas episode. And then the audio said deuces and deleted itself. So here we are again. We have gifts. We already opened them because we've already done this episode, so we will talk about and show our gifts from each other, but we'll get to that. We have a lot of fun stuff for this episode. Christmas movies, Mad Libs, fun stuff. So I want to jump in. Nick, what are you up to? What have you been watching? What's good?
What's poppin' is, I'm recording my audio in GarageBand now because QuickTime has betrayed me for the last time. So, never using QuickTime again.
TBH.
It was really frustrating because we had recorded it's not like it crashed 20 minutes in, right? Like,
No.
we had done the entire episode, opened our gifts, and you were literally doing the outro. And then the audio just stopped. And I was like, oh, well, let me press stop, save, and then I'll start another one. Because, like, for the joystick drift, I've done that before. My audio stops because the storage is full and I have to start another one. So it's not an uncommon concept. But I pressed stop and then it's like, oh, this operation cannot be completed. Whoosh. And then just deleted everything and it was gone. And I was like, oh,
forever.
That's nice. I think this is the first time we've ever had to re-record an episode, though.
I think we had to do it one other time. I just cannot remember when it was.
I don't think we have.
Really?
I think there were days maybe where we were supposed to record and we had to delay the recording, but I don't think we've ever had to, like, re-record an episode.
Yeah. I'm trying to... No, I feel like... Gosh. Not me
You
looking
look
at
for that.
Not me looking at the episode list.
You look for that.
I feel like there's a lot of... We've had a lot of scheduling issues before. But I think re-recording... No. I don't think we've re-recorded. I think we've, like, recorded and then not used.
Yes, we have. I talked about that on the Frozen episode. There's a Frozen 2 review that never got used.
So I think that might be what I'm thinking of. So, like, we had to record again because we ended up not using what we were doing.
You know what? You're right. We recorded the Doctor Strange review with Hannah, and then her audio got deleted, and we couldn't use that episode at all.
That was such a good episode.
I still have our audio and the video, but we just don't have her audio, so the episode never went out. Which we need to have. We need to have Hannah on. I told her she could be on a long time ago. She still hasn't been on yet. I'm waiting until we eventually do Harry Potter, because that's her her strong suit is Harry Potter.
And Harry Potter's not my strong suit, so
exactly. So it'll be nice to have someone who actually likes Harry Potter on the show. That'd be great.
What? Don't out me as a Potter hater.
I'm not a Potter hater. I just hate the Potter fans. They're annoying and toxic.
I'm not a Potter hater.
Except for Hannah. Hannah's the exception.
I just hate toxic people.
I mean, hey, same. Toxic people are the worst. Cut those toxic people out of your life. They're not worth it. They don't deserve you because you're a king or a queen or whatever you want to be. It's up to you. Anyway.
Merry Christmas, Santa's sleigh.
What have I been watching? Well, in the Christmas spirit, I watched the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, which was great. I haven't watched any other Christmas movies yet. I do plan on doing my yearly rewatch of the Polar Express. I might wait a little bit because I'm pretty sure Regal's going to put it in the theater, and I kind of want to see it there and watch it in the theater because I think the theater experience for that movie is totally different.
Yep.
I am going to go see Violent Night, which I know you're going to talk about in a minute. Which, by the way, not for kids. And not
for children.
Jackson's going to go into very deep detail.
I'll go into it.
But not for kids.
Not for children. Rated R.
We also, like you and I, watched the Beauty and the Beast Christmas special, and we'll talk about that a little later. Aside from that, I watched Disenchanted, which, if you like Enchanted, the original, you'll like this movie. It is a lot more of the same of the first movie, except Morgan is an adult now, or not an adult. She's like a teenager, and they use her being a teenager as an excuse to get in a lot of really good self-referential humor. So there's also a lot of references to other Disney movies, which I think is cool. Like there is literally a rose in a glass thing.
In a glass cloche.
Yeah, that. I will say it does give me some serious WandaVision vibes. Like, very similar plots, very similar color aesthetics, and I'm pretty sure they filmed it all in the same town. So that's nice. Aside from that, I watched the blockbuster Netflix sitcom. It was good. It's just very hard to see Melissa Fumero as anyone other than Amy Santiago from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So in my head, this is Asian Jim from The Office and Amy Santiago running the last blockbuster on Earth after Amy divorced Jake, I guess. So it was good. I can tell it definitely has all of the makings of a good sitcom. It's just kind of like The Office, like the first season of The Office, where it was hard to get through the first season of The Office, but then after that, it became a really good show because they figured out what they were doing and how they were going to do it. So, yeah, I think Blockbuster has that kind of potential, but I'm worried it's not going to review very well, and then Netflix is going to be like, well, no second season for you.
It looked like it'd be pretty good, but I thought it would just... It looked kind of like a ripoff of Superstore to me. And I like Superstore. I saw maybe 3 seasons, but then I thought it started to drag. So, also, I just had to switch my music. I was listening to, like, Christmas jazz, and I could feel it putting me to sleep. And so, I'm, like, trying to find a good thing to play on YouTube. I had, like, Christmas trap, like, playing, and it was just distracting.
I mean,
but
I'm listening to All I Want for Christmas Is You, We Shop version.
Okay. I have top 100 Christmas songs of all time now, so we'll see.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea.
So what else are you watching?
Last thing I'm watching, and I really want you to watch it because I think you'd like it, it's a romance anime on Netflix called Romantic Killer. Super niche, but I've read a lot of reviews. Everyone seems to love it because it's a great show. The premise is this girl likes video games. She's a gamer, right?
She's a gamer girl.
She's a gamer girl. She ain't got time for boys. No. Gets a new video game. A wizard comes out of the video game and is like, I'm going to take away your 3 biggest desires, which is video games, cats, and chocolate. And your life is now going to be a dating sim. And these 3 guys are going to show up out of nowhere, and your life's going to be a dating sim. And I'm going to take away these 3 desires until you fall in love. And it, low-key, is really funny. Like, they really lean into the whole breaking the like it's cliche, but it's making fun of the cliche of a dating sim. And
I mean,
that
this trailer looks pretty good.
is the best
Scrubbing
part.
Through it. Yeah.
And it also like tackles some really serious topics at the end. Like in the last 2 episodes, they handle a really serious topic really well, and it brings the whole thing to it like a nice little bow to where if it never got a second season, it's resolved enough.
Okay.
But the potential is still there for a second season. And I don't know if it's, I'm going to look it up while you're talking, but I don't know if it's based on a manga or if it's like an actual original anime.
Right.
If it's a manga, I'm going to go read that because I love it.
Yeah, I just scrubbed through the trailer and it looks pretty good.
Yeah. I'll either force you to watch it of your own volition, or I'll put it on a poll and let the people decide if it's one of the next anime you watch. Which, by the way, confirmed for the viewers. We did a YouTube community poll. The next anime for Jackson's Anime Adventure is the first 14 episodes of Sword Art Online. When that episode's coming out, I don't know yet. But that is the next anime. And once we get that one out of the way, I'll put up another 3 and you guys can pick for those.
That's why you subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay?
Gotta go vote. Make your voice heard in
this is
punishing...
the most important vote you will ever cast.
Yeah.
Okay?
Political votes? Those don't matter.
Who cares?
Choosing what anime Jackson watches?
More important.
Could change the future of this country.
You want to really change the world? Tell me what anime to watch, okay?
Tell him what anime to watch.
So, I've been watching a lot of movies. I haven't had the time to watch a lot of TV. But over Thanksgiving break, like, the Christmas movies were, like, I was hitting them hard. So, I watched National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Iconic. That movie is so good because it's so relatable, and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is just a family vacation, and that's why it's good. You can connect with it, and it's not even about anything. It's just their Christmas. We watched The Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, that special. We'll dig into that. It's not good. Anyway, I watched Zoe's Extraordinary Christmas, which is the movie from Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, which is an amazing NBC show that just got canceled semi-recently. And so what was interesting is the first season of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist is amazing. I really love that show. And then the second season, I feel like, took a pretty big dip in quality and they just didn't have enough story. But they did end on a cliffhanger and then got canceled. And so Roku picked them up for a movie. So the Christmas movie, I feel like, is really good. And it just puts a little bow on the show and is like, hey, there's no hope for like the rest of this coming back at all. And it shouldn't. The story's done. But it just kind of like wrapped it up. And I appreciated that. And it was really fun. Good music. Also, for the first time, I watched A Christmas Story, which I really enjoyed. I'll watch it again, but I don't know. It's one of those classics, and I was just kind of like, yeah, that was good. Not like, it didn't change the world for me. I thought it was funny. I thought it was sweet. I liked it. It's pretty iconic, has some good, just iconic moments. But also, like, it was hard because a lot of the characters to me were just pitiful. And it was just hard. It's hard to watch sometimes. You're like, oh my gosh, like, please, someone do something right. Like, please. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I'll watch it again. And then I watched on Netflix A Very Country Christmas. 10 out of 10.
Oh my
so
gosh,
good.
I have to watch it.
It's about a country music star that doesn't want to be in the spotlight anymore. So just him. He goes back to I think he just hides out in this small town. It's not even his hometown, and then falls in love with his interior decorator. So, highly recommend. I'm getting there, guys. I also watched The Grand Budapest Hotel for the first time. 10 out of 10. That movie is so good. Not for children, but I will say, just as someone that appreciates like art movies, like just beautiful movies, that's a beautiful movie. Like, the symmetry is so good. I was working on a project, was editing something, so I turned on John Wick. I could watch John Wick all day long.
Wait. That is such a weird movie. Be like, yeah, I was working on stuff, and I turned on John Wick.
Okay, here's the thing.
What?
This is something that I do. This is something my dad does, and so I think I got it from him. But like, if it's just him or just us in the house and we're just like working on stuff, he will turn on the most intense movie you've ever seen just to have on. That's how I've seen every James Bond movie. Like, the Daniel Craig James Bond has been while I've just been working on stuff. Or like, anytime I'm in a hotel with him, where it's always like whatever random Vin Diesel movie is on like TNT is going on at like 11 p.m. while we're going to sleep. It's kind of hilarious, but it works because I've seen it before. It like keeps me engaged. Like, it's like I can follow it because like I've seen it before and it's a good story, but it's a lot of just like violence, you know? And so it's not going to distract me too bad. It's easy to follow, and it's just like the sounds like keep me engaged of what I'm doing. I think it works. I think it makes sense. If you want a violent movie double feature, I went to the theater and saw the new David Harbour Violent Night. Preface. Big preface. Not for children. Rated R. The most violent movie I've seen in my life. I felt a little sick partway through. Lots of blood. Ask your mom first, okay? That out of the way. It is so freaking good. Oh my gosh. I loved it so much. It's just... it does what it needs to do. It's not a cinematic masterpiece. Most of the acting is pretty just okay. David Harbour is the perfect cast for this. He did amazing. The visual effects are actually great. There's some really good stunt choreography, and it's like Home Alone, but rated R. And I feel like watching this movie almost recaptured how I felt watching Home Alone when I was like 10. You know, when like they're going through all his booby traps and stuff and it's intense, like that was like so cool to me at like 10. And then like as an adult now, I'm like, oh, that's funny, but it's like kind of slapsticky. This is not. It is so real. It's so scary. It's like, it's intense. And so it's almost like I felt like it was the same thing. Like, as an adult, now I get to watch Violent Night and have the same feelings that I had when I was 10 watching Home Alone. So that's what I'll say. Highly recommend. If you can't, if super intense, like bloody movies aren't your thing, don't go for it. But I think it's hilarious because it's like Christmas. Oh, so fun. David Harbour Santa beating the crap out of these guys. Okay, it's amazing. Highly recommend if you're into those kind of movies. That's what I've been watching, and we're good.
Nice. I have done my research while you were
Please.
talking, and Romantic Killer is a manga, but it's not very far along. Like, there's only 9 chapters available in English. I don't know how many chapters there are, like, in its actuality or in its totality. I do know that Volume 1 is in stock at Books A Million, so maybe if I get a Books A Million gift card for Christmas, I will go pick it up. Because the more support I can give it, maybe that means Netflix will greenlight a second season. But if there's not, it might be a while. If there's not source material for a second season, that's kind of the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes these romance anime jump the gun, and then by the time they're done, they're like, oh, we actually got to wait like 2 years because we don't have the source material. Uh-oh. So
another thing to bring up is there were some pretty cool trailers recently that we can
yeah.
touch on just a little bit.
Old
Please.
Man Indiana Jones.
Woo!
Harrison Ford. Okay, I watched the Indiana Jones trailer, and the best thing about it was that it got me excited to go watch the old Indiana Jones movies, not the new one. Especially when I heard the Raiders March at the end, I was like, oh man, I really want to go listen, or I really want to go watch Indiana Jones, which franchise revisit next year, I think.
Ayo?
Somewhere in there.
Ayo? I'm not mad.
I got to decide because there's a lot of movies that could have a franchise revisit based on new movies coming out, and I gotta pick one because we can't. We can watch movies, but not that many movies.
I mean, come on, guys.
So
Yeah,
it was a good trailer, I guess. It's not a super necessary movie, and it feels weird as to why they didn't just like reboot the franchise and choose someone else.
like Chris Pratt or Tom Holland.
Come
on,
hold
guys.
on. Okay, hold on. I like Chris Pratt and Tom Holland as much as the next guy, but here's
Chris
the thing.
Hemsworth.
No. I think, especially when they're like, oh yeah, we de-aged Harrison Ford, so he looks like young Harrison Ford. And I'm like, okay, but if you wanted to do something like that, why not just like soft reboot the franchise, and then you got your young actor and you can start over? And maybe that's what they're trying to do with this one. Maybe Indiana Jones 5 is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Whoa.
Maybe that's a very, like, they're trying to push, I think it's his goddaughter, he said in the trailer.
Yeah, the
Like, they're
Phoebe
trying to make
Waller-Bridge.
her the new Indiana Jones. I don't know. It's all kind of strange.
Are they pulling a James Bond?
I guess. I think Indiana Jones could be like James Bond, honestly.
It could, for real.
Could be.
But
Could
I
just
don't
be a
think
name.
I don't think it would, because Harrison Ford has like been very adamant. He's like, Indiana Jones will die with me. He's like, I am
Dang.
Indiana Jones. So, yikes.
Never forget, he went back to Star Wars just so they could kill Han Solo,
just so
he
they
didn't
could
have to
he's
do
like,
it anymore.
He's like, I'm gonna close this door, and then came back as a freaking ghost in Rise of Skywalker. Like,
J.J. Abrams,
get
the money,
heck
you know
outta
what I'm
here.
saying? Like,
Valid. I don't know. I haven't seen all of Indiana Jones. I've seen the first one, and that's about it. And so we'll revisit it later, and I'm excited for that. But this trailer didn't do a whole lot for me, but it's because I haven't seen the other movies. And I really like Harrison Ford. And old Harrison Ford, for whatever reason, made me kind of emotional. Just because, like, I haven't seen him in a while. And it's just really sweet. But, I don't know. The best way I can describe it is it gave me a pretty big Jurassic World vibe.
in a good way or a bad way?
In a bad way.
Oh, no.
Like, I don't know if I'm going to get crucified for saying that. But, like, it just feels very like, hey guys, look, Indiana Jones is back. And it's just like, okay, that's cool. But, I mean, the cast, okay. The cast is pretty stacked. I mean, it's Harrison Ford, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and Antonio Banderas, Matt Miskine. I can't say his name right. What have I seen him in? Wait. Oh, he's in Casino Royale and Doctor Strange. Oh, yeah. Matt Mixlin.
Oh, you know what's coming out that I want to watch?
What's
that? The Glass Onion.
Yeah. What's up with that going to theaters for like a week?
No, it's in theaters for like a month.
Really?
And then it's coming out
Okay.
on Netflix, which, hey, Netflix, this might actually be a worthwhile venture for you to actually make some money, is drop your movies in theaters and then leave them there for a month so the diehards who want to go to the theaters and see it can see it, and then bring them to Netflix. Like, and, you know, maybe push it out to more theaters, because the closest Regal to me that has it is like 30 minutes away, and
Yep.
I'm not that invested in
Same.
it. So I'll just wait till it comes out on Netflix.
Yeah. I had
But
friends,
it's a good idea. Keep doing it.
I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of like the dual release thing. I think this is probably the best way to do it that I've seen. So, like, I'm not incredibly mad. I just don't like that this movie is going to live on Netflix because it's going to be hard to get elsewhere. Like, it will probably go to DVD, but, like, it's just a little scary to me when it's like, this is Netflix's movie now. And I'm like, well, where's this movie going to be in 10 years? Like, who's to say? So, I don't know. I had a point. Oh, I had friends a bit ago that were like, yeah, we're going to go see The Glass Onion. And I said, where? And they said, the theater. And I was like, no, you're not.
Here, you're not. No.
They were like, well, they're like, I saw Colin saw it. Where did he see it? And I was like, honey, Colin went home for break and saw it at a real movie theater, okay?
He went to an AMC.
He went to a real movie theater, not a freaking, like, whatever bullcrap, like, tiny, like, 3 theater thing we have here. It's stupid. But we don't get special event movies, and it's
you really
just
live in the
stupid.
worst place to see movies. Which, by the way, I think you should come here for the weekend when the new Makoto Shinkai film comes out in April.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you they will not be playing it there, and they will be playing it here at least at the big fancy Regal.
Yeah.
And I'll drive for that movie.
Yeah. I think I really didn't know where you were gonna go with that. I just heard you really live in the worst place.
I mean, you kind of do.
Okay, shoot, hit me where it hurts. Yeah, no, I will. Here's what's interesting is I also want to go there for your birthday for Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Listen, when you live 2 hours away, it's not that bad.
I'm saying it's really not that bad. So, and I live in nowhere, but I mean,
I live in the middle of nowhere.
I live in nowhere. You're about to get a Costco, okay? So
true.
Don't come at
I am
me.
about to get a
Don't
Costco
come
like
at
5
me
minutes
with
from
your
my house.
nowhere. Oh man.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3
Guardians of the Galaxy 3
looks like peak fiction. I fear
that. I was talking to
I'm
Amy
not going to
about
be
this.
emotionally okay.
I was
I'm
talking
sorry.
to Amy about this. I said this movie gonna make me cry. Like I'm going to cry.
Might be the
way
first
that
time I cry in the movie.
The way
theater.
that I almost cried in the watching the trailer. Like this movie is going to destroy me. I can tell. Even like both of the Guardians movies have destroyed me. So
James Gunn 3 for 3.
Let's go.
It's such a shame that Marvel is losing him to DC. I mean, DC definitely needs it. Like they could use this kind of help, but it's a shame. And he also said like, this is the end of the Guardians as we know it. Like I think when he said that, he means this is the last. Chris Pratt is Star-Lord. Vin Diesel is Groot. Dave Bautista is Drax. Like, there will be new Guardians of the Galaxy, kind of like what they're doing with the Avengers. How, like, the Avengers was Tony Stark and Steve Rogers and Bruce Banner and Thor. Yeah, I forgot Thor doesn't have a last... Oh, no, he does. Thor Odinson. But,
Thor
like...
Odinson. I always said Thor Thunder.
Now it's, you know, I guess... Riri Williams, I think, and Kate Bishop, Queen,
we stand.
and She-Hulk, and Thor. Still, actually, I guess. But I think that's what they're trying to. That's what. Well, not what they're trying to do. What they're going to do with the Guardians, years down the line, is they'll establish a new Guardians of the Galaxy. And it will definitely not be as good as the original, and that's kind of a trend Marvel seems to be hitting right now.
Can I be incredibly honest?
Please do.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 might be the last Marvel movie I see ever.
Okay. Same, though.
Because if he's like, yeah, this is the end of the Guardians, and like the Avengers is going down the toilet and this and that, I'm like, at least until something like looks really, really good. This is gonna be really hard.
I would say I would go see like Secret Wars and like the Kang Dynasty and stuff, but I feel like those, like the Avengers movies, you always needed to be caught up on everything to see the Avengers movies for them to really make sense. So I think 2023 could definitely be my last year with Marvel because they have Guardians 3 in May and then Loki season 2. Oh, well, actually, yeah, I forgot. Quantumania in February. and then Guardians in May, and then I think Loki is the summer, which I would presume is like June-ish, kind of like
I'll
it
watch
was
that.
last year. So I'll watch that, and then after that, I'm done, I guess.
Did you see the theory that people were saying Deadpool was going to be in season 2 of Loki?
Yeah. Because of like the thing where Miss
believe that.
Minutes was like, "Hi, Ryan Reynolds," and then Ryan Reynolds replied, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what?"
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I don't think I believe it. I really don't.
We should be getting a Loki trailer soon if it's coming out in June.
I mean, Loki.
Based on how they space them out. So,
Loki?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm hyped for Guardians.
I'm going to be so sad if it's sad. Or not sad, bad. If it's bad, which it doesn't look like it's going to be bad.
If the movie is sad, I will be sad.
I will, in fact, be sad if the movie is sad.
Hashtag deep.
Hashtag I'm 12. Or what's the subreddit? Hashtag I'm 14 and this is deep. Yeah, me. For real.
Gosh. Do you have anything to say about Transformers?
No. It looks like a Transformers movie.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Wait, what's the name of this one? Is Michael Bay directing it?
No. Michael Bay is not directing it, which means it might actually be good. Well, good for a Transformers movie. I won't say good in terms of a movie. Bumblebee was good.
Rise of the Beasts.
And I would hope that, this new Transformers is as good, if not better, than Bumblebee. But I don't know. We can only hope for the best.
Stephen Capel Jr. is directing. What is
he
done?
So it's not Michael Bay.
What has he done? I don't know if
Which
I've
is
ever
the
heard
best
of him.
part.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Transformers and I think Transformers has a very niche fan base right now.
Yep.
So
Transformers fans have not gotten anything good in years.
they're trying. And they're
trying, but they can't.
A good movie, please.
No.
How about no? It's like, please.
How about no? Actually.
Oh my gosh.
Idiot. Do you have anything you want to say about the new Mario movie trailer? Because that also dropped in the same span. Which, by the way, I reacted to all three of. Well, I didn't react to the Indiana Jones one, but I did upload a reaction of the Mario movie, Transformers, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Which those are all up on the YouTube channel. They're great. I uploaded them and they're great. For me, Mario movie trailer, I think, dare I say, the Mario movie may end up being my Sonic 2. I don't know.
For next year?
Yeah. I feel like I'm really starting to get behind it. It's going to be a toss-up between Mario and Guardians, which is hilarious because they're both Chris Pratt-led movies. Chris Pratt literally goes from Mario to, oh no, Chris Pratt, or Star-Lord is depressed. Uh-oh. In the span of a month. It's going to be a really good spring for him. Can't wait for them to announce Chris Pratt as the English voice actor for Link in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, don't even say that.
He could say, "Hey, Princess Zelda, it's a Link." That's not the voice. You'll have to wait to hear the voice.
You'll have to wait
and then
for
it
the
is the
voice.
voice.
And they're like, yes, it freaking was.
Yes, it freaking was.
So the Mario movie is interesting to me because everyone was like, oh my gosh, no, how dare they? And now everyone's kind of like, oh, okay, that looks pretty good. Like, I'll probably go see it in theaters, honestly. It looks
I'm going to go see it day one. I mean, we both have to go see it day one. We're doing a review of it.
Mobby.
We already have our guests lined up.
Really?
Yeah.
Chris Pratt?
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
Let's go.
No, arguably bigger and more important. We currently have Genre Geeks lined up, but they're going through some personal stuff right now. So, which is fine.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers go out to them. Times are tough. That's kind of how life is.
We love
you guys. Can't wait for you to come back.
It's brutal out here.
But I did already snag them as a guest, assuming everything goes well.
So the Beauty and the Beast Christmas special. Am I right?
Bad movie.
We watched. If you follow on Instagram, you can see. You probably saw. We had a bit of a content retreat recently. It was pretty lit, and I just went to Nick's house and we filmed a ton of stuff.
did.
Planned a lot of great stuff for next year. I think we're going to talk about that a little bit in our next episode, so stay tuned. But one of this was we watched Beauty and the Beast: The Enchanted Christmas, which was a straight to VHS Christmas special that takes place at the same time as Beauty and the Beast, but we had to look it up. It's not canon.
No.
Like it's,
Thank God.
I don't know, multiverse ? But
Can't wait for Emma Watson Belle and Christmas Special Belle and Beauty and the Beast Belle to all fight Gaston.
just go, hi, I'm Belle. So this so there is a full YouTube video with like a full commentary. It's like edited. It's the highlights of us watching it. If you want to go watch that, it will be on YouTube soon. We talked
please don't put a date on it. Please don't put a date on it.
Talked about putting a date on it.
Don't give me that kind of pressure. I'm working on it as fast as I can.
It is out right now.
No!
No, it's not. But it'll be out soon. So subscribe.
It'll be out.
So you'll see it soon.
My promise, it'll be out before Christmas Day. That's what I can guarantee.
It's not.
It'll be
very
out
hard.
before Christmas Day.
Okay. Not before my birthday. Single tier.
No,
This episode releases on my birthday, by the way. Tell me happy
birthday
right
to
now.
you.
I'm gonna pause for 5 seconds so that while you're listening, you can say happy birthday to me. Okay, thank you. Stop. You're too kind. Anyway, so The Enchanted Christmas. How do we feel?
It's bad. It's a bad movie.
It's pretty bad.
You know, most, if not all, of the straight to VHS/DVD Disney movies are just utterly terrible. Like, they're bad. And the thing is, like, I don't want to say they're intentionally bad because Disney didn't have that kind of self-awareness in the 90s. They were just like, this is okay. And the whole movie really felt like they took some film interns or like some writing interns and said, hey, write a Christmas special. I want to see what you can do. And then they wrote it and they took the first draft and they were like, you know what? Yes, this is it. This is like the best thing we've ever done. So, and I'm sure they specified in there, we want the organ to be 3D CG. And the only thing in that movie to be it's 3D bad. CG is the organ. And it should be really haunting and it should be really scary. And I'd like to think that they took it very seriously. And then it just kind of turned out the way it was. The organ was probably the best part of the movie.
He was the best part. He was hilarious.
His 2 lines, I'm bolted to the wall.
I'm chained to the wall.
It's funny because I was watching it while editing it yesterday.
Yeah.
And the way he says it is like the pan flute fife is like, oh man, look at this. And he's like, oh, I would. Oh wait, I'm bolted to the wall.
The wall.
Like it was it was very sarcastic and that was the best part. And then there's a later one where Fife is like, what are you doing? And he's like, they can't fall in love if they're dead. And it's like, oh.
It's like, oh my.
Okay.
Yeah, this
Alrighty
special
then.
for no reason is very intense. There's a point where Belle goes to chop down a Christmas tree to bring it because the Beast is so sad. No, he hates
Christmas.
That's so sad.
Because someone gave him a book for Christmas.
Tree.
So
One year someone gave him a book for Christmas, so he hates Christmas. That's literally the plot. So,
and then the old lady just had some really poor timing to show up and be like, hey, a rose for your troubles? And he's like, get out of here, you old hag. And then she's like, he was mean to me once. Poof, you're a furry
Beast.
now. You could be a furry for the rest of your life.
No. Unless you fall in love.
Unless you fall in love.
So, yeah, she goes to cut out a Christmas tree for him, and, she almost drowned. If you can believe that. She goes across the icy frozen plain and falls in, and the tree is tied to her sled, and she goes and
then the tree
almost drowns.
The rope slings around her ankle, and then it drags her underwater.
And she just
Which she should have
drowns.
died from hypothermia a long time ago.
For real.
Because if you look, you can see in the frames, she is literally just wearing that dress. Like, it's not like she's wearing pants or leggings or
Like a
anything
huge,
underneath
heavy
it.
coat
So those,
or,
like, legs are bare exposed to water that was cold enough to freeze a thick slab of ice over the water. That is some cold water. Like, those are some near negative temperatures.
Those are some
So
death
she should be
temperatures.
dead from hypothermia alone. Bye, Belle. It was nice knowing
she's
you.
fine. She's fine. Nope, she's all good. The talking axe with a Brooklyn accent gets her
How
out
did
of the
someone with a
ice.
Brooklyn accent get there when Brooklyn
God
didn't
only knows.
exist in the 1800s? I would also like to correct myself, because in the video, I don't think I left it in the video, but in the video I said, oh, Thanksgiving doesn't exist yet. This is the 1800s. And then as I was editing, I was like, wait, that's a lie.
Yeah, it absolutely.
Because they had Thanksgiving during Hamilton times, which was in the late 1770s. And that's obviously after or before the 1800s. So I was wrong. That is how math works. Oh no. I got to remember on this side of Jesus, we're counting up instead of counting down. Mobby.
On this side of Jesus. Oh my gosh.
He was born, and now we're counting up instead of counting down.
Oh.
Which I'd like to know who implemented that rule, but it's a conversation for a different day.
That's that. Highly recommend watching it with your friends.
Don't watch it at all. You can go watch our video of it though. Please support that video, because if that video does well, we'll do more videos like that, because there's plenty of things we could watch. Cars 2, The Little Mermaid 2, Planes 2. Trying to find more twos. It's such a bad movie. We could watch that. We could watch that Auto Be Good that I mentioned during the video.
Oh my gosh, the
that would be so niche.
Car cartoon.
It's Veggie Tales, but with cars.
That'd be great. That'd be so
niche.
Gosh.
That's how I found Microwave Society. Was they watched Veggie Tales, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
What?
I want
That's
to
crazy.
do that. So, anything else to say? I think if you want to hear anything else, go watch the video. Just go watch the video. It'll be linked in the description at some point when it's released. So, I'm bolted to the wall. It's great. It's great.
That's actually one of my favorite jokes from Muppet Vision 3D. I think it's at the end where the show's ending and the two guys are up in the platform or whatever,
seats,
and they're like, oh, you think we have time to go to the bathroom before the next show? And they're like, no, you idiot, we're bolted to the seats. And I'm like, dude, those guys are actually low-key really funny. That's gonna be you and me when we're like 70. We're gonna be sitting criticizing stuff like that, like, it's not as good as it used to be.
Back in the day when you got
back
great
in my
cinema,
day,
you got great cinema like Thor: Love and Thunder.
You got peak cinema like The Little Mermaid 2: Return to the Sea.
Oh yes, sir.
I don't know where my Brooklyn accent came from.
Hey, you're like the axe.
What kind of wood you want? We got all kinds of wood.
Hey. So, yeah, we also have a fun little activity here that we get to do. I think it's going to be really fun if we want to hop into that for this last part of the show.
I'm working on it. Give me 2 seconds. I have to
So what we have here
Google Chrome
is from the Washington Post, actually. Wow.
Oh, no, not the Washington Post.
But this is a Mad Lib where we get to write our own Christmas movie.
Yes.
So we're gonna fill this out. It's gonna be great.
Do we want to change the character names? Because there are character names already printed on here.
Yeah, we'll change it.
Hans is kind of a sucky name. No offense to anybody named Hans.
Get out of here. If your name is
do you
Hans,
really want to be the villain from Disney's Tangled or Frozen?
Embarrassing.
Cringe. Fake Disney
How
fan.
Embarrassing. Cringe.
What's a really basic stereotypical name that would be in a Hallmark movie?
John.
Okay, so John, and what should the girl's name be? What's a really basic white girl name?
I mean, like,
I have an answer, but I don't want to say it. Based on how hard you're laughing, I think you know exactly what I'm referring to. I think
Stacy.
John and Stacy. Okay, that works.
John and Stacy.
Let me. Oh no! Don't do that. Hold on. Let me do Stacy, and then I need to put a background on. I'm doing all of this in Canva, by the way. Look at me go.
You're so talented.
I know. I could learn Adobe Photoshop, or I could just continue using Canva. You know, think about it that way. Okay, background. There we go. Ew, don't make it yellow. No. Make it this color. Okay, and I'm just going to cover up, because it was Blake and Hans, and I'm like, ugh. Those are kind of lame names, if you ask me. Okay, and then I'll do this one to be John. Okay. And then I will put that there. Okay, so this is titled A Christmas in Love. Okay, so
Okay.
as we're going through, I will ask. We can come up with the things, because that's how Mad Libs works. Is you come up with the things and then you fill them in the blanks.
Yes.
Now, we will then read through the whole thing at the end. So, I need a Christmas character. And don't
Like
make it
from a
Santa, because
movie?
that's too basic.
Like from a movie.
Yeah.
Say
I'm thinking Rudolph.
Rudolph. I'm gonna say the secretary kid from the Santa Claus.
Oh, no,
What's
that's
his
too
name?
specific.
What's his name?
Do like the Grinch is what I would do.
No, you gotta be like uber specific.
Okay. What's the name of the kid from Home Alone?
Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, say Kevin McAllister. Kevin McAllister.
How do I spell McAllister? Okay, that's how you spell Kevin McAllister. Okay, now I need an occupation.
Occupation?
What's
Does it has to be Christmas, right?
Well, this is for Stacy.
Oh, this is for Stacy?
Yeah, this is Stacy's part. What is Stacy? Can she be a TikToker?
Oh,
I mean, it is 2022. That's something Hallmark would do. They'd be like, she's actually a social media influencer.
she's a TikToker.
I think she should be a TikToker. Okay. Now, I need a color and an animal.
A color?
And an animal.
Light blue.
Okay, that's uber specific. I like it.
Animal? Alligator.
See, are you looking at the prompt? Okay, good.
I'm truly
good.
not.
Don't. That makes it so much better, because I can see where these answers go.
Oh my god.
Which no, stop! Don't move the whole thing. Canva, come on, work with me here. Okay. So, this is gonna be beautiful. I think we should. Come on, Nick. I know how to spell alligator. I lived in Florida for a year.
Alligators.
I should know. Also, I do want to say it's so surreal that when we started this podcast, I was living at home, and then now I've gone all the way through college,
And
we're still doing this podcast.
And
Okay.
you're back home.
Now I need an adjective.
Adjective? Remind me what an adjective is.
It's
Swimmingly, like jump.
Yes.
Okay. Does it end in Lee?
An adjective is like a describer. Like, oh, Jackson is cool.
Oh, okay.
That's an adjective.
I'm going to say feral.
Okay. Okay, if that's what you want to put.
That's what I want to put.
Okay. All right. Now we're moving on to John. I need an occupation.
He is a...
But he can't also be a TikToker. That's too convenient.
He's a tiny home realtor.
I love how specific it is. He's not just a realtor. He's a tiny home realtor. All right, I'm digging this. Maybe we have a future in writing Hallmark movies. Okay, yes. Item of clothing. What are we thinking for item of clothing?
A vest.
A vest? Okay. All right. Verb ending with ing. So any verb, but it has to be ending with ing.
Slapping.
Okay. All right, I'm with it. Folks, you're in for a real treat if you're sticking through all this. It's gonna be great. Okay, now I need a big corporation. What big corporation would be the villain in a Hallmark movie? If we think about what Hallmark movies stand for.
Can you do something like none of the big ones? Like no Tesla, no Disney,
no Amazon, no Disney, Nintendo. No. It's got to be a big corporation, but it's super niche. Let me think.
We're gonna say Burlington Coat Factory.
I'm okay with that.
Big business.
Could have done Blockbuster. Okay, so the Burlington Coat Factory. All right, I've actually only been in a Burlington Coat Factory like once.
Same.
My mom didn't like that store. She thought it. Wait, they're still building those?
Yeah, we just got one. It kind of sucks though.
Oh, all right, 4 more. I need a number.
5,366. 0.3.
How much?
5,366.3.
Okay. Okay. All right. I need another color.
Dark purple.
Okay. This is going to kind of be feral. I'm not going to lie.
I'm so
kind of be cracked is what the kids would say. All right. I need another number.
-14.
Okay. This. Okay. Is it bad that I kind of want to watch this? I would watch this movie. Unironically.
I probably would too.
All right. Now,
I'm ready.
I need a plant.
A plant?
That's the last one.
I don't know a lot of plants. Poison ivy.
Okay. All right. I got it.
I feel like weed.
I mean, hey, that would work too. Okay.
No, we're doing poison ivy.
So here's our pitch. Hallmark, if you're listening, here's our pitch for A Christmas in Love. I might actually write this movie just for movies. It was Christmas Eve, and Stacy Tinsel had traveled home to Kevin McAllisterville from a big city job as a TikToker in New York to help with the family bed and breakfast, the Light Blue Alligator Inn. The Tinsels wanted the kids to take over someday, but Stacy's feral career was everything. There were plenty of reservations, but Stacy had one other thing: love. But in walked John, the local tiny home realtor, dressed in vest covered in snow. John was there to help with the annual slapping challenge to save the inn from being bought by Burlington Coat Factory. But a storm rolled in and dropped 5,366.3 feet of snow. Would all the guests still arrive? All the flights were canceled, and it seemed like Christmas and the challenge would be too. But one flight made it through. A man with a dark purple beard in a red suit appeared with a check for -$14. Enough to save the inn. John embraced Stacy under the poison ivy. This was home. Maybe Stacy would check into a life at the inn after all. And with John. I'm sorry, that was beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's an Oscar winner right there.
We need to make that right.
That was beautiful, quite honestly.
I really like the idea of being like, oh no, there's no mistletoe. Poison ivy.
Poison ivy. String it up. You gotta wear gloves while you're setting it up too. Like just put it up there. Oh my gosh. I think it was so hard to read with a straight face.
Oh my gosh. I was
struggling to read it with a straight face.
Okay.
Especially when but in walked John, the local tiny home realtor.
Tiny home realtor.
I need to find a better way. I can post this on Instagram.
Yes,
please. I don't think it'll fit. It's the wrong aspect ratio to post on an actual post. That's the problem. Oh, is it time to be real?
Sorry, I just had to do my be real quick.
Ugh, cringe. Imagine being a sucker for another social media app, which is why I don't have it.
It's different.
But it's neither here nor there.
Be real is different.
That's what the girls all say about the one guy, and they're like, he's different. I can change him.
He's different.
No, honey, you can't. He's just as sleazy as all the other guys.
So yeah, that was a good movie.
That was a good movie. I'm glad I watched it. Honestly, I can't wait for it to come to Netflix. Honestly,
I cannot wait. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be so lit.
We're gonna be so ready.
If this
Hallmark, we're ready to go into production January 1st. Just saying.
If this video gets 3 likes, we will make this movie.
Oh, I was like, wait, how is this video gonna get likes?
We will make this. If this video gets 3 likes, we will make this movie shot for shot, like we've described.
Do you want to know the funny part? Is
what?
With enough time and effort, we could actually do it by ourselves and make it like a 30-minute short film.
Yeah.
Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility to do next year.
Oh my gosh.
Subscribe to our Patreon to fund a Christmas in love.
Buy stickers with the link in the description. Make that money.
If we sell 60,000 stickers. Actually, you can't buy stickers. Hannah's shop is on vacation.
Oh, no.
So you can't buy stickers, actually. So it looks like Jackson's not getting a tattoo. So
Shoot.
What a shame.
I'm so sad.
I will say, there is a decent amount of stuff, and we'll probably talk about it more next episode, because that's our 2022 year in review, where we do oh, here's my favorite movie, here's my favorite show, all that stuff. There should be a decent amount more of, we're going to talk about some plans for next year. And I'm looking forward to that, because we are planning a lot of cool stuff. Should be a good year. And maybe one of those things is new ways for you to support the podcast.
Who's to say? Who's to
say? Working on some cool stuff. But you'll have to listen in to the next episode to find out
on that note,
what that is.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nerdiest Podcast. I had so much fun.
Me too.
Much better than the first one we recorded. I think that was I think that was God killing the recording, saying, "No, you can do better." So
and I think we did do better.
We did do better. Thanks, God.
We never would have Mad Libbed this movie if we didn't have to re-record it.
This is divine intervention. So
honestly,
let's follow on Instagram at the Nerdiest Podcast and leave a 5-star review. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts and we'll read it on the show. Follow on YouTube at the Nerdiest Podcast. That's really what we're pushing right now. We're trying to get the YouTube audience grown because there's some huge potential there and we're doing some super cool stuff. So go subscribe on YouTube if you haven't yet. And man, have a Merry Christmas. We have 1 episode left for the year. Whew.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not ready.
That's
but
crazy.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I cannot wait.
I've already planned out the first 3 months of 2023 in terms of episodes. So it's going to be great.
It's going to be great. So big stuff coming up. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day. Merry Christmas. Thanks for coming to our Christmas party. And until next time, peace out.
Bye.